Hello and welcome to my channel. It's the Network Specialist. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Everything I will discuss in this video is alleged and in my very own opinion, used for entertainment purposes only. Today, I will be doing a recap of the Braxtons Season 2, Episode 5, The Queen and I. Okay? Hey, Soundcheck Annette, thank you so much for being here listening in the bushes. I really do appreciate you, my love. So, guys, take a look at my thumbnail because this is a statement. Tamar, cut them MFers off. But it's also a question because I believe as of that last episode that we seen, which is why I wanted you guys to see the stress on Tamar's face. Like she was so hurt behind that whole scene with her sisters when Tawanda wanted her to go to jail and just, Tony not defending her and just pretty much, her sisters just degrading her. Okay. So Tamar, it seems to me that Tamar has finally accepted the fact that her sisters clearly don't like her. And it's the best thing that she can do at this point. Okay. So I believe that after that episode that we watched on Friday aired, Tamar was done with her family, with her siblings, her sisters mainly. I feel like that was it. That was the end of the road. Enough is enough. And sometimes things have to happen to force you to move on. Okay. Something drastic has to happen to force you to move on. Or on the flip side of that, you have to do something drastic. Okay. So that people know there's no coming back. Okay. It's a done deal. It's a wrap. It's like stick a fork in me. I'm done. Hey, Sharon Godball, thank you so much for being here. And I really hope that Tamar totally removes herself from the chaos, which is her family. Okay. And I'm not sure why Tamar feels like she needs her toxic family members because if you watch everything that's, you know, playing out behind the scenes right now, Tamar gets a lot of love and attention. And like we've always talked about on my channel, family doesn't have to be blood related. Family can be anybody that you're happy to see them and they're happy to see you coming. That's family. It does not have to be blood related. Okay. So after all that chaos, we had the Bridgerton bridal shower. Nothing to see there. Okay. And yes, I'm going to be petty. I'm not going to spend any of my time talking about Tawanda's Bridgerton baby shower. I'm sorry, not baby shower, bridal shower. Okay. Because, like, she really thought that this was going to be her moment. But what she didn't anticipate is that Tamar was going to call her out on being a thieving ass, lying ass biatch. Okay. So all of the attention that she would have gotten because it's married now. And I was to the point, if I heard this girl say that she's married one more freaking time, like, I was just so over hearing her say that, like, girl, people get married every day. Like, I understand it is a big deal, but girl, you acted like you're not even, valuable enough to be somebody's wife. Like, it just really showed your insecurities because and I mean, everybody should be wifey material. Everybody should be married at some point or the other if that's what they choose. But it's almost like you don't even think that you're worthy to be somebody's wife because you're just too overly excited about it. That was a little weird for me. I'm sorry. That was a little weird. The fact that, she has been repeating that from the inception of season 2. Okay. Like, I'm so over this girl and her weird ass wedding. I've seen a lot of beautiful weddings, and that one was just blah for me. And like Tamar said, pay her money now that you done got hit by that car. I'm sorry. Yes, you got hit by the car. And I'm pretty sure, I hate to think this about you, but you are a scammer. Okay. And I would hate to think that you walked in front of that car just so that you can get a payout to help you pay for some of this wedding. Because it's obvious that your fiance, now husband, like his coins really ain't coining, baby. Because if it was, your sister would not have to have given you $35,000 for a down payment on your home. Like, where is his name in all of this? You didn't waste no time putting his name on the deed, but where did the funds come in? Like, did he assist at all? And then after you purchase your home, not even a year later, you filed for bankruptcy and listed Tamar as a creditor. Like, girl, like when I tell you I am so over Tawanda and now Trina, because like they cannot make it any clear enough that they hate Tamar. Like, it's beyond, oh, I don't like my sister. Oh, me and my sister don't get along. Oh, me and my sister beefing. They hate Tamar. Okay. They hate Tamar so much that they're even willing to hook up with her ops. Okay. And let me just share this. But before I do that, let me go ahead and remove this. That's weird. Maybe 1 second, guys. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Now, when Trina did this, I say, yeah, there's no coming back from this. Like, it's gonna take. Honestly, I don't know what it's gonna take, but it's gonna take a lot of therapy, a lot of healing. It's gonna take something for these ladies to work this out because honestly, I just don't see it. Give me a second, guys. I'm just pulling up this post because this is what really did it for me. Oh, you guys can't see it. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, you guys should be able to see it now. Okay, so shout out to the neighborhood talk because this is one of the places. Because keep in mind, this was everywhere, but I seen it here, and it says, "Are y'all here for it?" K Michelle invites Trina Braxton to her show after Trina showed love to her music. So Trina, and you wonder why people don't like you, Trina. Like we were really rooting for you, Trina, but you just seem to have turned in to your sister Tawanda. okay? Because Trina used to be high up on the list. As a matter of fact, at one point, I was a little bit more fond of Trina than I was Tamar. And that's only because of this narrative that they have been painting, about Tamar for decades since the inception of the Braxton family values. So even though I like Tamar and I could still see through some of the bull with her family, I still held Trina, you know, in higher regards than I did for Tamar. So it looks like that Trina got up under a post that K Michelle made, and she said, I love country music. Like, girl, you had to do this in public. Like, have you heard of an inbox? If you weren't doing this intentionally to hurt your baby sister, why would you do this on social media, knowing that they have had a beef for years? I don't even follow K Michelle like that, but I know that she has been beefing with Tamar for years, like since the Braxton family values. So for you to do this online, on social media, you definitely did that to taunt Tamar. And you're doing this because, again, I believe that Tamar done cut y'all ass off. She no longer communicates with y'all. And y'all know that if Tamar does not agree to another season with this show, y'all out of gas, you and Tawanda. Because it seems like y'all are the two that really needs this show to continue. So after Trina made her comment about how much she loves country music, K Michelle, tagged her and said, "Come see me, Trina. DM me," which is what she should have did from the beginning, and I'll set it up. And she said the album is great. So K Michelle was loving the fact that, she knew that Tamar's sister was being shady, and she could respond and she could enter the chat and be shady against Tamar. So Tamar, being the marketing genius that she is, which is one of the reasons why y'all mad, y'all can't understand how Tamar keeps getting these brand deals, all of these opportunities. Y'all can't understand that. She's a great marketing genius. So Tamar said, anyways, like, y'all can no longer provoke me. Y'all can no longer get up under my skin. Y'all can no longer provoke me to react. She says, go download and watch my number one album, Heartbreak Retrograde, on my YouTube channel and all platforms. Okay? Now that's the way you snap back on them haters. Shut them right on down. So now, nothing against K Michelle, but to you, Trina, now people are still seeing you for who you really are, and it's not getting any better for you. So let me just go ahead and stop sharing that. Everybody's seeing the shade, Trina. Everybody's seeing the shade. And at this point, the way they are dragging you in those comments, like, you really need to go a little MIA for a while and maybe just possibly do your cooking show on Mondays and offer some healthy options, because you and your husband both, y'all health is declining. Okay. So that's more important than trying to throw shade on social media. Focus on you and your husband's health. And Sharon said that bridal shower was corny and boring. It fit her personality. Very tacky. Um, and the way she just laughs off everything and makes it a joke, it's just like, I don't know if she's trying to find herself, like, if she don't really know, like, what her vibe is. I don't know. She just has a very weird, quirky personality. And I guess Sean and her are a good match because he's kind of weird too. Okay. And the fact that I can't figure out what he does for a living, that makes him a little bit even weirder. Okay. And Sharon also said, in my opinion, she probably walked in front of that car looking for a payout. That was the first thing I thought about, Sharon, but I really didn't want to say anything, especially initially, because initially I was under the impression that Sean was paying all her bills until Tamar outed her I was thinking that she finally, hit the jackpot with Sean, and he actually had a real job, or at least, he had some type of income to help her pay these bills. So initially, that's what I was thinking because that's what I was hearing out there. But apparently, I have not been able to locate what Sean does for a living. That doesn't mean that he's not some type of entrepreneur. And because one thing I have noticed about these Braxtons and anybody associated with them, if they want to keep something from you and if they want to hide something from you, baby, you're not going to find it. Okay. So, it could just be very well hidden. And Sound Check Annette says she did. Okay. And I don't know if she's referring to Sean or about that car accident where I feel like this girl literally walked in front of a car so that she can get a payout, to help with these wedding expenses. Because Tawanda, we're not crazy. We know the reason why it took you so long to get married because your man didn't have the funds. You didn't have funds. So I absolutely believe that you walked in front of that car just so that you could get a payout. The car accident. Okay. And Tawanda, I know you had to think somewhere in your small brain that people were going to associate your accident with some type of scam for you to come up with some money to pay for this wedding. Like, you had to know that we would go there. Just saying. Now, before I let my time get away from me, there's a couple of other things in particular because I'm going to be quite honest. I was not impressed by this episode of the Braxtons. Yeah, we seen that Trina is back at work, exploring a career in, as a realtor, which is not a bad idea. And Trina has always been open to trying different things, unlike Tawanda, who chooses to not open up and try new things, but rather to leech out for other people. I can say that Trina has always tried to, go outside of her music career or whatever the case may be and look into other options, for money. Now, let me ask y'all this. Have y'all ever wondered what Miss Evelyn be thinking about when she makes those grunting sounds? I think Tamar has called her out. She's always just grunting, like, And I totally get that because people tell me that I do that as well. And a lot of times I don't even realize that I'm doing it, and I guess I'm kind of like thinking out loud in my head, just not saying what I'm thinking. But honey, I would love to know what Miss Evelyn be thinking when she be making all of those weird sounds. Now, when it comes to Miss Tony Braxton, the living legend, I still got love for you, girl. Nobody's perfect. But at this point, your sisters, Tawanda and Trina, are dragging you down. And honestly, I just wish Tony and Tamar could make things right with each other and just move away from those other two toxic sisters. So after Tony let Tawanda know that she would not be attending her bridal shower, we found out that Tony has been giving out guilt gifts. Okay. So maybe that's where the bulk of her money goes because she never shows up. Like we've seen that with our own eyes that she never shows up to anything. So I'm assuming after she doesn't show up, then she sends all of these guilt gifts to her siblings. So at the end of the day, they don't really care whether she's going to show up or not because they know that they're going to get a guilt gift. That's a little bit of a tongue teaser, guys. Guilt gift. And that's just food for thought. And then on top of that, she's always late. So I'm not sure if she does that so that she could make a grand entrance because honey, when it comes to Tony Braxton, she don't play when it comes to her image, her name, her brand, and she wants you to know that she is the legendary. Tony Braxton wherever she goes. She don't care if she's around her family. She wants to remind them every time that she's a legend. So when Tamar was having that sit down with one of her team members, just gonna say that I really, really, really felt bad for Tamar. Okay, and I'm just pulling up my next thing that I'm gonna share while I'm speaking. We don't want it to play just yet. So let me just go ahead and wrap up this episode so that we can just go right into the clips. This is what I want Tamar to know because honestly, I feel like the person who's been behind the scenes pressuring Tamar to do another season of the Braxtons is Miss Evelyn. I honestly believe that she's the one that has been making Tamar feel guilty about not wanting to continue with this show. And I want Tamar to know that she cannot keep going in circles and she doesn't need to allow anyone, and I mean no one, make her feel guilty for cutting off her toxic family members. I don't care if it's your mom. Sometimes your mom is toxic AF and you have to cut your mom off too. Okay. And I'm not saying that for Miss Evelyn because it seems like for right now, Tamar and Miss Evelyn are in a great place. And if I'm being honest, I feel like Miss Evelyn always leans in closer to Tamar. I could be wrong, but that's just how I feel. And Sharon says, I didn't like this episode. I gave it a 4. I didn't either. Like, there was really nothing to see. And because there was nothing to see, Sharon, I had to just go and do some deep dives into other things that's going on to just figure out what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to these Braxtons. Okay. And the fact that Tamar already suffers from anxiety and depression, at this point, she really needs to put her mental health and well being first. She has a son that needs her and depends on her so that she definitely needs to focus on herself, her mental health, and her son. And meanwhile, while I hate to say this, but Tony has definitely picked a side. And the sooner Tamar realizes that, the better. Now, when Tamar said that she always come back for them, I really did feel that. Like I totally felt that when Tamar said that. And I felt like she was being true and genuine in that moment. Because sometimes, guys, it's hard to move on and be successful and leave your family members behind. A lot of successful people feel like they have to take care of their family financially once they make it. You know, some family members depend on that, and then other family members, they don't expect you, they don't have those type of expectations for you. And I would never have those expectations on any of my family members. Okay. And at that moment, when Tamar said that she always come back for them, that was the moment that I can honestly say that I don't want a season 3. Cut them off, Tamar. There is no show without Tamar. And if they don't appreciate your efforts, cut their ass off. That's the bottom line. And I'm not sure how sincere Tony is about wanting to get the family back together, like she says in her confessionals. But at this point, maybe that's something that Tony and Tamar can work on behind the scene. But I really hate this emotional roller coaster for Tamar because that's what it seems like. She's on a high, then she's on a low. Every time she's in a good place, her family provoke her and bring her back to that toxic place. So at this point, it's just time for Tamar to move on and put herself first, which is what she is doing right now in this day and time. From what we see, Tamar has moved on and she's putting herself first. Now, let me quickly share my screen really quickly. Now, I want you guys to see the type of person that these sisters, Miss Evelyn, because I think that she has a very mean spirit.
How the Braxtons is unfolding the show.
Well, I think it's just life, don't you? It's like anyone else's life, just
Let
life.
me see. Let
And
me
you
start
take
that
one day.
over.
How do you feel about how the Braxtons is unfolding the show?
Well, I think it's just life, don't you? It's like anyone else's life, just life. And you take one day at a time.
Somebody said, "Can you give a shout out to Chicago?"
I can. Hi, Chicago. Look at God. Hello, hello.
Where's Logan?
Logan is with his mom right now.
And I don't know who this TikToker is. She doesn't seem very experienced, but another reason why I feel like Miss E is behind the scenes begging Tamar to do this show is because she wants to be in the limelight. She wants to be a celebrity like her daughters, and she wants to take all the credit for who her daughters, became and the legends that they are.
Oh, he had the flu, so and I prefer that he stays with his mom with the flu. How about that, guys? Look at God.
They said, "How do you like working on a new reality show with all your girls?"
Um, I'm used to it. It's been years that we've been doing this, so I'm used to it. Working on a reality show, I'm used to it.
What was two meal that you cooked for the kids when they were growing up?
The go-to spaghetti.
Now, guys, this is funny to me because she's supposed to be so much of a good cook. But when somebody asks you about what was the kid's favorite meals or whatever, when you don't know how to cook, the first thing you're going to say is spaghetti.
They love the spaghetti. And the beefaroni, beefaroni, beefaroni. That's what they used to say. Mommy, can we have beefaroni, beefaroni, beefaroni? And I'm like, absolutely. With the burgers and the noodles and all of that, and the um what tomato paste and tomato sauce. Maybe you
She
don't
really
know
doesn't
because
sound
you
like
probably
somebody who
really
knows how to cook.
young.
I'm
Okay, that's
sorry.
good.
Tamar says hi.
Hi, Tammy. Hi, Tammy. Hey, babies.
So let me stop that. I just wanted to show you guys her mean demeanor. Like, there's something about her. And I believe everything people say about she is the reason why her daughters act the way. And I think Tamar acts a lot like her. Now, there's one other thing that I want to share with you guys very, very quickly before I get out of here. Oops, wrong one. Listen to what Miss E said. And I'm gonna have to play it a couple times to make sure you guys hear it.
Do you know what happens? We take our partner for granted because we let life take over. Okay. Cheating happens because we take our partner
Yo,
for
when I
granted.
tell y'all this had
We
me
let
so
life
weak.
take over, and we
I'm
don't know
not
how to
mature
pause
enough for
and give
this.
back to our partner.
But hold that. I got to write this down. The whole outgrows the pole. Outlast everybody. Outlast the pole. Everybody knows this, and you know what? This is life, people.
It is life. It
is life. She's so serious, and it's sending me.
Okay, guys, just in case you couldn't hear it, I'll play it again. But let me just go ahead and tell you what she's saying. Miss E is saying that the whole outlasts the pole. Now, guys, I'm not in her head. I don't know what she means by that. I don't know if she's talking about personal body parts. I don't know if she's talking about herself versus her husband. But I'm going to leave you with that because I want you to think on that. Imagine growing up in a house with a mom who says things like this. Oops.
Outlast the pole any day.
But you know what happens? We take our partner for granted because we let life take over. Okay.
Tamar is so embarrassing. Her friend can't stop laughing.
When I tell y'all this had me so weak. I'm not mature enough for this.
Back to our partner.
But hold that. I got to write this down. The whole outgrows the pole. Outlast everybody. Outlast the pole. Everybody knows this, and you know what? This is life, people.
It is life.
It is life.
She's so serious, and it's sending me.
Okay, so again, Tamar was so, tickled. She wanted to write that down. She's probably going to use that, at a later time. But guys, yeah, this episode was really not giving much. And honestly, if this episode with the whole fight scene, we've already seen what Ashley was bringing to the table, as far as the sit down on the podcast with Tamar. We've seen the fight scene. Like, guys, what's left? We've already seen the highlights. So I anticipate that the next couple of episodes, I don't know how many there will be, but they're probably going to be pretty boring, guys. So I'm just preparing you for that. But guys, if you did not like the video on your way in, please like the video on your way out. And if you just happen to be catching the replay, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and bye for now.